Okay, so in this video is gonna be the paint version of how to deal with Will. So I don't know the uh, how to get carried in Will, especially hard Will paint version. So Will has three phases. People call it P1, P2, and P3. So I'll obviously start with P1. Things to remember for P1. It's gonna be that there are two dimensions, uh, blue and purple, blue and purple. There are two dimensions, blue and purple. You can swap between dimensions using Moonlight with your interact key. So your interact key is in spacebar. A lot of people put it into the Y key because it's easier to just press Y on cutscenes. Something also important to note about P1 is that you want to stick to him. Even if you want to stick to him, even if you're a ranged class. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not a DPS. Use healing fams. During tests, disable your familiars or retract them. I don't know. Despawn your familiars. During tests, despawn your familiars, and I think that's pretty much it. So graphically, there are two dimensions, purple and red. No, blue and purple, right? To be honest, it looks red, but people just call them blue and purple. But the purple is really reddish, but whatever. So it's gonna be blue and purple are two dimensions, and you swap between them based on like a meter you'll have here, and the meter is gonna start like filling up, and once it glows up in yellow you can use it, and you're gonna spend like a third of your Moonlight. This is called Moonlight. So you always want to have the Moonlight as high as possible, because if you don't have Moonlight then you can't swap, and if you're in a test segment and you're gonna want to go to the next dimension and you don't have Moonlight, you're gonna die and you're gonna fail a test. Okay, so something else that's important to note is that you can't die during a test for you to pass a test. The test is simply not dying. And so, okay, let's go step by step. There's two dimensions. You can swap them between the dimensions with the Moonlight. You want to stick to Will close to him, because this is Will, and all his attacks have like, he has like three different attacks, like a short one, a middle one, and like a long one. But this is like his effective range, and he's always gonna attack the way he's facing. So if he's facing this way, he's always gonna attack this way. So if you just stand near him, and the cast time for his attacks is pretty long. So if you stand on top of him or like very near him, you can always dodge just moving right or left depending on where he is facing. All of his attacks, like I say, are gonna be casted the way he's facing towards. The only position it's like dangerous for him to be would be like, okay, that's a, okay, whatever. This is so scuffed. Like on the edge of the map, because then there's an attack called Tornado, which is like this high. Oops. It's a red attack, and it's like a tornado that looks like an eye or whatever, and it's gonna go this way from one end of the map to the other end. You can teleport across it, you can E-form, you can even up jump. If you up jump really high, you can dodge the tornado, because the hitbox goes like 3/4 of the way of the height of the map. If you can float like an Adele or a Xenon, you can dodge it. So you always want to stand near the middle of the map because he's going to spawn relative to your position. So if everyone is around the middle of the map, he's never going to spawn on either edge and do the tornado attack like the whole length of the map. So always try to stand near the middle. Never stand like, I would say standing here is a no-go, like this position of the map. And like here, I would say like maybe don't stand in this area. And the safe area is like the center. Like this is a maybe not so nice area to be. This is definitely don't be standing here. And this is like really where you want to be standing. And then every 2 minutes, so every 2 minutes, a test will happen. And if you're in comms, people will be like, oh, test, to look out for test. And then at like this position of your screen, an eye will open up. An eye will open up. And if this eye opens up and you're like in the blue dimension, see, this is blue dimension. I don't know, this is blue, dude. I'm daltonic. What the fuck? This isn't blue. Whatever. And then this is a purple, right? So people be like, okay, test is coming. And then someone says, oh, okay, test, it's blue, it's purple. And if you're in purple, you want to swap to blue. Or if you're in blue, you want to swap to purple. Depending on, of course, if you're in blue and they say blue, you don't move and you'll see the eye pop up at around this position in the map. So look out for the eye. Then during the test, there's going to be like a sigil. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like a weird thing at this position on the map. And there's gonna be yellow and some red orbs, red and blackish orbs. I don't know, dude. They look nasty and ominous. You'll know which ones you want to get hit by, the yellow ones, and which ones you don't want to hit by. So you want to get hit by the yellow ones so that you charge up a barrier around this, and that barrier is going to prevent you from dying once the test is over. If you don't cast a barrier on top of like this eye and you don't damage reduction or you shield, you'll die. So get one of these, tell the people in the other dimension to get these. And the way you get these yellow and red black orbs is by attacking the sigil or the eye or the barrier, whatever you want to call it. Just attack it with normal attacks a couple times and the other dimension is going to spawn. So imagine you're in purple and there's none of these orbs dropping. You have to tell blue, hey, you have to hit this a couple times and then stuff is going to fall down. And that's pretty much it. If you're not a DPS, use Healing Familiars, and then you want to keep hitting Will once you've swapped to the desired dimension. Imagine the eye opens up in blue and you were in purple. You want to hit him in purple until you swap to blue, and then you want to keep hitting him because for some reason sometimes Healing Familiars heal Will, because I have no fucking clue, but it happens. So you want to hit him because if he heals a little bit with the Healing Familiars, you won't proc the test, and that's 2 minutes wasted. So you want to hit Will as many times as you can. In all, like, even if his health looks completely depleted, you want to hit him. That's pretty much P1. That's kind of a hard... P1 is hard. I think it's the hardest phase if you don't have Healing Familiars. For P2, then P2 is the hardest. But I think P1 is the hardest if you have Healing Familiars. P2 is pretty free. So in P2, it's going to be an area like this, and Will is going to be like here. And then there's going to be something pretty important. It's going to be the mirror. So like below your feet, there's going to be a mirror, and there's going to be a mirrored Will, like standing here. Oops, maybe it's going to be like a mirrored Will standing. Okay. It's going to be a mirrored Will standing here, looking mean as fuck. And so I've been running this boss for a long time and I'm not really sure how it works. I feel like if what I've been told is that if this, let's call this like the real Will and this is the mirrored Will, if the real Will and the mirrored Will do the same animation, they're gonna attack the same way, right? So this real Will is looking here And if the mirror world does the same animation as the real one, they're gonna attack this direction. But if the real will and the mirrored will do a different animation before attacking, then the mirrored will is actually gonna attack that a different like way. But in the real world where you are, this is you looking cute as fuck, you're gonna get hit by this anyways. So if the both of them are doing a different animation and you're close to him, you either wanna up jump or just get away from him. Because if not, he's gonna knock you back, he might reverse you, and it's not gonna be nice. You probably, I don't wanna say die, but he's gonna knock you back. And what's the problem with getting knocked back? That he casts webs around here and here in the map. And these webs are a one-shot. If you touch them without like damage reduction or dark side, they will one-shot you. So if he's on the middle, you wanna like ironically stand really near the webs without touching them, because he won't get range to attack you. I feel like his like there's a, again, like P1, I feel like there's like a short attack here, a middle range attack, and then like a big swipe. And if you are standing here, you won't get hit by the swipe attack and you'll be safe. But if he moves to like this area here, you want to go to the opposite side and vice versa. If he stands in this area here, you want to stand in the opposite side. So you always want to be as close as the web spawn point as possible, but as far as away to will as possible. And that's pretty much it for like the mechanics, how not to get killed, because he shouldn't be killing you because of damage if you're running healing familiars. So my only big advice in P2 is just run healing familiars. Needless to say, if you die, you want to milk timers, because why wouldn't you? You can't die again if you're already dead, so milk timers. Just run healing familiars. You can also, if you're very like not confident of your like mechanics, stand here, because you can stand like on the edge of the map, not getting hit by webs, and just spam healing familiars. And if you have like any attack, long range, attack him so that you get your moonlight. And if you use moonlight like in P1, instead of swapping dimensions, you'll be able to heal, because in P2 there's a heal block, you can't heal. That's why you want to be running healing familiars. But if your entire party is running healing familiars, then you might not even need to like heal once with your moonlight. You kind of want to store your moonlight for test segments. Again, in P2, every 2 minutes, every 2 minutes there's a test. And how do tests work in Will is that again, in the mirror there is going to show one of two things. Either nothing is going to show, or like a cracked thing is going to show. It's going to look like a crack in the form of like a spider web. And if a crack forms, you'll notice there's gonna be like some animation, like some lights going here, and after like a second, a spider leg's gonna fall down. And if the floor is cracked, you wanna be standing in the spider leg, because every other area apart from the spider legs is gonna be an area you're gonna get damage. You actually get 99% damage if you're not standing on the spider leg. So if you are in 100% health, you get hit, then your pets heal you, and then you can actually get hit again, and your pets are gonna heal you again. If you're using if you have moonlight. If you don't, then you probably die. But you just have to get hit if there's a crack. If there's no crack, then you just stand on the edge of the map and don't move, because legs can't hit the edge of the map. So crack, you want to follow the legs, and normally the legs are gonna hit. Legs can't hit the same spot twice, and there's 3 spawn points. So what you want to do is the first leg is going to hit here, then you want to move around this area where the second leg is going to hit, and then you want to move to the third area where the third leg is going to hit. So since it can't hit the same space twice, you want to get hit here, you move, the second one is going to hit here, and then the third one is going to hit here. So in a single test, there's going to be 5, let's say, segments, and every segment is going to have 3 legs. So in total, you have to dodge or hit or get hit by 15 legs per test. Not too hard, to be honest. And once that happens, then you keep DPS in, and then he dies. Takes practice, but it's easier than it's. Oh yeah, this is super important. Run. What's this called? Mikhail link. Because one of the biggest problems is being on a test segment and getting hit by a leg you shouldn't be hit, or not getting hit, and then you get knocked back, and that throws you off, and you probably die out if you get knocked back. So run Mikhail link, run healing familiars. And then for P3, you can heal normally in P3. I feel like P3 is really, really easy, and the only way to die in P3 is by one of the attacks. It's called move. So pretty much you can ignore everything except for 2 things in P3 called poison and move. So in P3 again, this is the area. Will doesn't move, he's on the center, and he's gonna be doing like certain attacks. His attack range kind of varies. Like he has a short attack, he transforms into a small spider, and he does a small attack, then a medium attack, I think, and then there's like a very low but long attack. So this is like his effective range. And then these are his small, like let's go like small spider form, and then there's like big spider form attacks. Like the small spider form, to be honest, you can just ignore. And the big spider form, he's gonna be a huge spider, looking again mean as fuck, with his fangs, being like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And he transforms into a big spider, and there's 2 attacks. Move. Well, that's a weird E. Move and stay. So a lot of people say, oh, just look at his eyes. If they turn yellow, it's move, and if they turn white, it's stay. It's like, dude, in the middle of the fight, you won't notice if it's yellow or white. If it was like black or white, that'd be pretty easy. But what I do is I see his position, right? If he goes really high, like he's gonna be really high up, like his body's gonna look like this with his legs like so or something. I'm bad at drawing, so but his legs are really like he's going very vertical. That's a move, which means the leg is gonna come from below and kill you. And then the other one is called stay, where he goes like really far back, like, and then his arms are like this, like his arms go really far down, and then his legs are like this, so he really looks like he's leaning backwards. And there's like these animations, right? Like he's leaning backwards, and then he's like going really like vertical, and then he's like been going very horizontal. The horizontal one is stay, so you don't have to do anything, just don't move. And then the one you want to worry about is when he goes really vertical. This is called move. And in move, it's ping reliant. So what you want to do, if you're a flash jump class, just flash jump as he's going down. As he's going down, you want to flash jump. If you're a TP class, pray. Just pray. If you're a TP class, if you have E form, use E form. If you have an iframe, use your iframe. You're gonna probably die out. I mean, not die out, but die on move. If you're trusting on your like TP timing, because it's really hard. Because you're probably gonna TP, so you're gonna TP, and then he's gonna kill you once you TP. Or if you take too long, he's gonna kill you before you TP. So TP classes have it hard in P3. And that's pretty much the only way you die like instantly from attacks. Then like the small spider forms, I don't really know how to read the small spider forms, but they aren't really important. There's another thing we should go after poison. It's called webs, but pretty much not very important in general. So poison is you're gonna be chilling, and then suddenly he's gonna be like, and he's gonna have like this animation here, and he's gonna cast some poison on someone, like one of the 6 or whatever party members you have, and then they're gonna have an area here, like it's pretty obvious you have poison. What you should say is, oh, poison whatever side you're on. If you're middle, say poison middle. Middle is like this area, this is left, and this is right. You say, oh, poison whatever, poison middle, poison left, poison right, and then you want to attack him, because if you don't attack him you take damage, and if there's people by you they will take damage. So just get poisoned, move ideally to the left or the right, then the rest of the party go the opposite way, and you just attack him and you're Gucci. You shouldn't be dying to poison, and nobody should be dying to poison. Just communicate you have poison and you're the side the poison is on. If you're here, poison left, poison right, poison middle. Easy money. And then the other thing you want to know about is webs. So like the webs in P2, these webs are Monka W. You don't want to get touched by these webs, and these webs are going to start enclosing on the screen. So you're going to start like, the webs are going to look like this here, and some here, and like some here, and here, and here, here. Like the real edges of the map, right? And then as time passes, webs are going to start closing in, and then like the effective area you have to fight the boss is going to be shorter and shorter, and there's going to be a point where you can't dodge his small spider forms, and that's going to be kind of hard, because you'll be getting damaged by these, and then of course the classic legs that fall from the sky and like the little pellets, and yeah, it gets kind of chaotic. So what you want to do is just wait for your thing to fill up, your moonlight to fill up, and then just press your interact key, and then you jump into a web, and you can cleanse 2 webs per cast of moonlight. So every time you have moonlight, just press Y or spacebar or whatever, your interact key, and jump into webs. You're going to cleanse them. So you prevent the screen to close with webs, and that's going to be very helpful, because that way you ensure that the DPSs can DPS freely, and that you ensure that you have like places to TP or move once he does the move attack, or there's poison. Like there's poison, and then like you have this area of the screen available, then like it's kind of doomed, right? Like if you have this portion of the screen available and the rest is filled with webs, like you're probably gonna die. Like your party members are gonna die from the poison. So that's why you wanna like actively be looking out to cleanse webs. Of course, in this section also, if you die, just milk your timers. No point in reviving if you're not DPSing. And that's pretty much it. This is like the part 1 with like the paint, because there's a lot of stuff to explain that I can't explain during the gameplay, but I'll make a second part with gameplay on normal mode to like explain stuff, and that's pretty much it.